For today's video, I'm gonna talk about the newly announced Fujifilm X-E5. I have a couple thoughts about it, maybe two things. I'm a little confused at the price point they're asking for. Two, who is it meant for? So let's talk about the price point. Fuji's asking for upwards of $2,000 Canadian, right? That's quite a bit of money. That's almost like X106 or X-E5 kind of money. Like, ignoring the fact that you still can't get an X106 at MSRP in store because there's still scalpers, buying all the pre-orders outright and just, scalping it for higher price. What the X-E5 is offering, right? I think it's pretty good. I think it's steady state from the previous models that they released, like the X-E5, X-E50, X-H2, right? So it comes with the 40 megapixel sensor, it has EVF, no optical viewfinder, not weather sealed, but at least has IBIS. Price point is crazy in my opinion, because looking at the price history with the previous model, which I think it's called the X-E4, at launch price it was $850 USD. $850 USD, and you convert that into Canadian, I think that's maybe a little over $1,000. That's dirt cheap compared to what they're asking for right now. That's like literally almost $700 to $800 like a markup from the previous model. I don't know, I think that's a little too much money in my opinion. I totally get it. The XE series is considered more of like a budget-friendly rangefinder-ish experience camera, right? I totally get that, and also inflation, right? But dang, inflation is causing that much for the price to go up. I mean, at that price point, I'm just gonna go buy an X-T5, or heck, I could just save money and get an XM5. It's not the same sensor. It's the build quality is cheaper, but the fact that it's compact, it's probably one of the smallest cameras that Fujifilm has offered, and you can still switch lens with it, which is pretty good if you can give up on the 40 megapixels sensor, because I think for most people, especially hobbyists, I think 26 megapixels is more than enough for your needs, honestly, in my opinion. So now going back to what I said earlier, how that it's $200 something more expensive than X106. It feels like Fujifilm is competing with themselves, because they released the XM5, which is a subpar like $1,000 camera, and now you have the X-E5, right, which is supposed to be considered more like the budget rangefinder camera-ish from Fuji. And if you move up from there, there's also the X100 series. Yes, that's a fixed lens, but it's probably one of the best like rangefinder camera you can buy currently today, because it has optical viewfinder, it's weather sealed. Well, maybe not complete weather sealed. You have to buy like an adapter ring to keep it fully weather sealed on the lens, but like other than that, it's weather sealed. It has a built-in forced-up ND filter, which is super nice, right? For the build quality is probably better. It offers all those things. It has IBIS, all those like cool little like features that comes at a price at $21.59. So like now you're stuck in between that. Okay, so should I shell out $2,000 for an inferior in terms of like it's lacking some features at that price point, and then spend extra money on top of that to get the lens you want to use? Unless you're in the position where you've already have all like the X mount lens already, and you just wanted to buy the X-E5 because you wanted something smaller than the X-E5 or whatever you have for travel, then I think that would work for you, because you've already like solved the problem where you need to spend more money for the lens that doesn't come with the X-E5, because it's not a fixed camera, which is great. But for the people that don't have any X mount lens, right, or anything like that, and you're just coming fresh with the X-E5, right, spending over $2,000 for that camera with no lens, right, because it doesn't come with one. So think about now you have to budget even more just for like what lens should I buy with this camera, and that just adds up I would almost consider just going back to the X106 because it has everything that I need and a fixed lens, which would be like the 23 f2, which I'm okay with, right? I've learned over time that I respect, the fact that it's a point and shoot camera, a very expensive point and shoot camera, but a really good one. The question is though, how much is the X Pro 4 gonna cost us? But I have to admit though, there are some really cool things about the X-E5 that I really do like. Is that the form factor. It's small, compact, the design is very sleek. It's literally the X106, but just delete the the optical viewfinder and just add in the film sim dial, which is really cool of how they did it. It's like directly integrated with the design itself. It doesn't feel like it's an afterthought, like, for the X-T50. In my opinion, I feel like the way that they added the film sim dial in the X-T50 feels like it's an afterthought. But with the X-E5, thought through the process of how they're able to keep the camera compact, not over cluttered, and how to seamlessly integrate that new dial. And I think that's great. You get 3 custom buttons for your film simulation. This will sell well, no doubt about it. Like, I'm not gonna front about that. It will do really well, and it'd be interesting how Fuji is able to fulfill these demands, these pre-orders, because they haven't really been doing a good job with the X106. Well, they're still not, because like that camera's still on pre-order, right? And there's still scalpers able to snatch that in store and sell it for a higher marked up price. Fuji is heading to a different direction with their cameras now. Some people could see it as a bad or good thing. There's a one side saying it's great that Fuji is now getting more recognition of the brand and what they're all about with their cameras. And there's another side to it, it's like because of TikTok, Instagram, all those things, all these influencers are just buying these cameras up and hyping them up. And there's also scalpers, ruining the purchase experience for a lot of us because we can't get these cameras at MSRP price. And you can also kind of blame Fujifilm for not being able to meet these pre-order demands. I don't know, that's multiple factors. That's just my take. I think that it's a little too expensive for what they're asking. Sure, it's offering really cool things that comes to the camera, and I am 100% for sure there's a lot of folks out there wanting an X-E5 for so long, but is the price justified what they're offering? Maybe, maybe not. I think it's a use case for some people, but I think in my opinion, I don't think it's worth the price. I would maybe consider getting one if it's like $300 to $400 cheaper, right? Yeah, sure, maybe a bite, but at that price point, I would just consider just buying an X106, right? And again, I know they're not the same thing. They're not going to. They offer different things, but I like the fact that X106, it's a fixed point and shoot camera. I don't have to worry about bringing what lens or figuring out all the logistics, right? Because that's not the point, right? It's just a small, compact point and shoot camera that makes photography fun. And I don't doubt the X-E5 will give the same feeling of taking photos for fun, and it'll make it fun, but not at that price point though. That's too much money in my opinion. Yeah, guys, that's just my long rant about it. All right, have a good night.